Okay, I think we should be good here. Um, as I was saying, where should I settle now? I think we may just very well settle in spot. Although this kind of puts into question our Kothon placing, or placage, I should say, because this isn't exactly the greatest spot for some of our early placements. Although this would be a really good spot here, I should say. So maybe we should put my granary down there. Okay, I think we should be Oops, let me. I was just testing my audio. Okay, so I'm going to grow towards the dates and then get the +2 food and +2 happiness bonus on top of the flat food and production. And then we're going to beeline for these 2 goody huts right here. I guess we could afford to grow. We don't really need the culture boost. And then we'll quickly grow to 4 pops, which will really help with our production for the granary, which will then kind of compound on top of, this is some decent terrain, on top of our other bonus. Okay, and we have a lake here, or a navigable river, I should say. Okay, there's the coast. This is already starting to be a lot more interesting than our previous start, although, of course, we are, again, sandwiched between desert and tundra. I really have not had the best of luck with a lot of my Civ 6, or, I'm sorry, 7 starts lately. Hopefully there's not a mountain blocking me there. Okay, I'll squeeze by. And for our other tile, I think I'll start grabbing the incense for our our science bonus. And then, of course, we have an angry barbarian scout right there. Okay. Honestly, if I grew again really quickly, I think the 10% science would kind of offset, and then the +1 science there offset that initial yield from the goody hut. So let's immediately build our colonist again because we'll get 2 copies. And because these city-states, kind of unlike our last start, are up to the north, I think at least, we should be able to settle a few cities comfortably. Oh, I think there's actually one to the south right there. So I might have spoken too soon. But this will be a really good spot for a city, actually. I'm thinking at least a Kothon here would be +5 because of the resource here. And then a city here would be, it wouldn't reach the salt, but it would reach the gold, I'm pretty sure. At least I think. But our capital seems to be in a pretty good spot right now. Okay, and then once again, once I get enough gold, I'm going to go ahead and buy another scout. And we'll grab pottery again just because we don't have that many woods or vegetated tiles around us. So our improvements or our I forget the name of the tile, the woodcutter. That's it. Would not be as effective otherwise. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not the Kothon that gets the resource bonus. It is the dockyard. Even though, with that in mind, I think we'll go ahead and grab... What is it? Wisdom of Tanit? It's really the production or the food. Which one do I want? Because I feel like my Kothon would really be crippled if I put it here. So we'd only be getting one production. Although I could build it here. I think I'll probably end up doing that. For now, though, let's get the dockyard first, and then get the bonus wonder and culture. Yields right there. We'll grab tool making. That production is super useful. And then continue exploring. No need to search there. I am worried, though, if this guy finds my city. Because I'll have to start pumping out warriors sooner than I anticipated. No, and he's already attacking me. Perfect. Okay, so there's our first target. This will be a pretty decent city. We have a choke point here as well, just in case we need to manage these guys. So I'm thinking a city here. We don't have any pins either. They need to add that. A city here, maybe a city here, and something over here. I haven't really seen too much of what's up to the north. I will once I buy another scout out with gold. It's not really too big of a emergency right now because this is a fairly narrow strip of land I'm exploring. So we'll kind of see what we're working with. But again, fractal maps tend to be the most interesting. Again, they really missed the mark with the map generation in this game. Way too many right angles for continents. Let's stay a while. But yeah, we really need to get some culture generation going. So hopefully we can get this colonist out and start improving our yields immediately. I'll send one of you over there. And one of the nice things about our colonists are that they have additional movement speed on embarked tiles, on top of being a 2-for-1. So let's grab that culture I was just talking about, upping my culture yield. And we need to immediately start building warriors. Kind of put that off a bit. All right, stay away from my colonist. Little freak. And there's not really any good terrain to the southwest of our city. Let me go for that slinger. I would like to go for the Great Monument. But I'm not sure, or I'm sorry, the Great Stele, but I'm not sure that'll work out at the moment. Oh, and we've actually met Ada Lovelace. I've not heard her intro. A pleasure. Okay. I'll go with the friendly greeting. Okay. And looks like we have a mountain. I will actually take this and convert it into a Pearls resource. There we go. And let's continue exploring. She seems to be fairly friendly. So Ada's bonuses. We found this city immediately. Hadru Metum. So Ada's bonuses are focused towards masteries. Basically how she works is she gets +2 science per age. after completing a civic mastery. And then you gain culture equal to 50% of your total science per turn. So really, really strong with civs like the Maya that specialize in kind of getting masteries and then have a big base science yield. I'm not too sure if she's best paired with the Axomates because I don't think any of their abilities really function with research or civic research aside from like the base how wield culture yield. So not the best pairing for her, unfortunately, but that's probably a good thing because she should be able to get some pretty bonkers yields once she is up and running. Let's get the cotton. And this is looking to be a solid city. Let's work towards the marble. As you can already see, we're funneling resources into our capital, and then once we start to get more trade routes out, we will gradually increase the resource capacity with our passive, or our civics, I should say. Okay. Okay, let's get that out. And I think we need to build a fishing quay before we can pump out that dockyard. Then we need to clear that camp ASAP. So this should be an okay city spot. I'm going to need to immediately send my warrior down there. Kind of a risky settle by me. Let's go towards the elephants. But my reasoning for this is that it's okay if I have like one crappy city or slightly crappy city because I'm not going to be developing them until the medieval age. And that little event will only help make my capital a stronger city. Okay, we'll go with the initiative since she seems to be fairly amicable. I'll keep the fish down there, and then I will move them when I get the other civic researched. Okay, let's wait until we can get slingers. But the extra movement when embarked is really, really useful so far, I have to say. Okay, he is looking for my northern city, it seems. Okay, we're going to try to snipe that camp right there. And there should be another civ right down here. I'm going to go for irrigation because of my... I have one navigable river. But I think we also want to get the garden if we can for that food. Actually, we can probably go for writing. God, he has so many warriors. Let me retreat. I'm just not going to be able to take that. After this is built, I'm going to get a settler, and then I'm going to buy out another settler My gold production is really, really solid right now. And then that should be enough to finally clear that camp. It's just unfortunate it's kind of at the center of where I want everything to be for my empire. Okay, let's heal. And we'll grab the marble for the wonder bonus. But that city's going to get taken. Shit. That might get raised. I'll take the extra food. I really, really need to focus on units after this. That is definitely going to get raised, unfortunately. I was a bit careless there. I didn't see him sneaking up. Unless he kills himself on it. I doubt, though. There's a UI glitch. Speak of the devil. So this patch was supposed to update a lot of the UI issues, like with the nesting under the menus, but it seems like there's still a lot of issues with that here. Obviously, we're still going to go with a friendly greeting to our UI afflicted brethren here, but a bit unfortunate there. I will grab the warrior though. Okay, you have some pretty decent lands. Aksum also has a desert bias. So if you take... Oh, God. That was such a promising city too. 3 turns. I don't know if that'll be enough. I was going to say, if you take Xerxes with Aksum, you are like guaranteed to get one hell of a desert start because of his start bias. Oh, I need to clear these guys out immediately. And they got my other warrior. Okay, let's purchase a slinger. And I'm actually not going to have enough movement, which is really, really unfortunate. I should be able to kill these guys, though. And maybe I can encourage them. I don't have enough for raids. I was going to say, maybe I can encourage them to kind of like redirect their forces. But right now it is kind of rough for us. Okay, I'm going to heal here. Yeah. That is really, really annoying. But there is Greece. All right, this guy's an asshole. At least in my experience. I try not to judge a book by its cover, but he usually likes to immediately declare war, at least. He's done that to me on higher difficulties. Let's continue fortifying, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and recoup that city, which is really unfortunate. But that's just how it works. Okay, let's get one more. I guess we could grab a colonist, actually. And then, of course, we lost those resources there. So I guess we don't need to worry too much about resource management for now. But that is a bit annoying. Okay, we're going to have to fall back here. They also added a new sound. I'm not sure if you guys heard that for when you accept an endeavor. Okay, let's go continue exploring here. And then I'll pull up the patch notes in a few minutes and we can go through there. Or go from there. Take some damage, that's okay. Okay, I'm going to go quickly heal. Take a shot at you. And then it's kind of a shame we don't have discipline yet. It'll be 6 turns, but we should be able to kind of recoup our losses. I'll take our irrigation. And then I'm trying to lock in, but very icky start. Kind of with those barbs. Can I kill this turn? I can, so I'll immediately clear. We're going to get discipline researched, which means we get our first commander. And then I'll grab a migrant and immediately pop that on this city here. I hate that it doesn't show your yields here. But we did get a militaristic attribute. And we will grab mysticism while we're at it. Let's get the +5 combat strength since we need it desperately right now. And I said Ada Lovelace's start looked pretty good, but actually, oh, and she settled there too. It kind of looks rough. Of course, they haven't fixed the AI's forward settling with this patch. And one such example is right here. That's quite the forward settle. I'm still going to settle the city right here, I think. But that's not exactly a gesture of goodwill from her whatsoever. Okay. I want to get you down here, and then I'll immediately put my colonists out. Afterwards, I think we go for the Kothon right here. See, +5, very, very solid. And then we will build the dockyard on top of that to get our, I think it's the Punic port, which is an additional resource slot for our city. So Carthage is really, really good at setting civs up for the exploration age, just because, one, they found so many settlements. I think they get +1 settlement as opposed to the traditional 6 that the civs start with at the end of the Antiquity Age, or I should say that they reach at the end. I think they get up to 7. So they're really, really well geared for kind of the discovery / exploration side of things. And then just having another kind of source of shipyards and whatnot immediately ready for you with the Kothons and the dockyards is really, really strong. Okay. So I've kind of explored this end of the continent. I'm going to try to find Machiavelli's home base, and hopefully Nukuleka doesn't prove to be too much of a barrier. So I'm going to collect you guys. And then next turn we should be able to gather. Okay, I'm going to grab, I guess any of these tiles will do. But let's start expanding towards that gypsum. And we'll send our commander upwards to go for this camp up here. But again, we're getting our copies of, let me see here. Okay, so we have enough space for that. I was worried that city would block me. Of course, that's not the case. But like I was saying, we're going to send our commander up and take out these warriors, which have been a massive pain in my side. Oh. So let's send out the healthy units first. And heal. Grab the cow lane. Okay, and then we want to get... Which one is it? Wisdom of Tanit 2, so we can start stacking resources in our capital as soon as possible. Okay, and they're actually heading west, which is nice. Let's take the Wonder Construction bonus. Grab Thine, and immediately claim the sheep over here, because we don't want her expanding too far west. Now, that is going to be an initial opinion debuff with her, but I really don't care. She forward settled me. That's kind of to be expected. We'll take masonry there for the pyramids. We're not going to build them, of course. This is a very weak river to build the pyramids with. But, I mean, I've seen the AI do it and just waste production, but oh well. Oh, and of course, Catherine's scout is right on top of the tile I want. Okay, kill that guy. Immediately attack you. And we should be good to go. Okay, and of course, as I say that, we run into these barbs, which Machiavelli is befriending, but not soon enough, obviously. And I think they'll kill that scout. Okay, they actually don't. So they might be on a raiding party. Very possible. Okay, I'll grab that, like I said. And we were a bit slow with our early pantheons. Thankfully, the AI didn't really gather too many competitive pantheons. I think Earth Goddess is like the most solid one here. Festivals isn't bad either. But I think we'll grab Sacred Waters. Very thematic with our Civ right now. Okay, and I need to move my guy up here to gain that experience. Okay, let's finish. Let me see here. Okay, I was going to say, let's finish unpacking our guys. Speaking of which, I think we can grab Assault. And then let's go eastwards. Okay, hopefully the city doesn't get razed, though we did gain a milestone. But we have way too many resources than we know what to deal with. Or to do with. Oh shit, they killed that guy. Let me fall back here. And let's grab another migrant. I know I should be grabbing more military units, but my idea is I'll just buy them out with gold for the time being. And I think we should be fine. Okay, I'm going to start packing some of these guys back in. We are running low on influence. Sorry if I sound really boring. I'm trying to focus on killing these barbs here. That +5 combat bonus should really help us with these independent powers, but I think we should be back on track for now. Just kind of buying out that slinger because I was worried about my initial manpower here. Okay, and the next turn we can work that gypsum, or I should say next pop, because that is 20 turns away. But let's rest with our commander here. And then after that is kind of all said and done, because I really want to get the Numidian cavalry, we should be good to go. However, they are kind of interesting. On top of the colonists being a unique unit, they also get the cavalry, and that is kind of funny because you'd think they'd start with some kind of naval unit, but the cavalry has +1 combat strength for each unique city resource assigned to your capital, so that's really going to help with our next civic we're researching. And then they ignore zone of control, so really, really powerful if you're trying to play an expansionist culture. And the 7 cities, or settlements, I should say, really help with that. Also, I believe you can capture cities and still develop them. I don't believe there's any kind of like stipulation preventing that from happening. So, the real question is, for an expansionist civ, we kind of have to take her out, right? Like, I think that's probably our next frontier. Oh lord, they have a lot of scouts. But no, I think I'll definitely be doing that, actually. And that should be good. I'll do that once I have the Numidian cavalry, though. Because right now, I kind of want to focus on getting some early wonders out, and the horses will help with that before I kind of start to go to war. Because at least with Carthage, we're pretty vulnerable early on. Although we build 2 settlers when we pump a settler out, our capital is still pretty vulnerable since our bonuses don't really start to stack until you start building the Kothons and the dockyards. Speaking of which, though, let me grab the mysticism 2 for that +2 food. And we can start slotting in our resources at the capital. Let's grab more production. I kind of feel bad taking the one resource these cities have, but I kind of have to stack my capital up. And we're also stacking gold too, speaking of stacking. So the nice thing about Carthage is that you can actually buy out the Kothons and the dockyards. So it's not a bad idea to invest in these cities early on. Speaking of which, I think it's probably a good idea to start buying things out like brickyards. And then that production will kind of go back into the gold that we're trying to generate. But very, very snaky continents, I have to say. Also, Tyre is still a city-state, so the Phoenicians apparently are still in the game. I doubt they'll be included as a culture, but it's interesting because they were in Civ 6 with Dido. But very interesting continent. Okay. Now that we're all healed up, I think it's high time we start raising down this city. And then once that's clear, we can kind of put a shitty city up here with the jade and the dye. Okay, I'm just readjusting my mic here. Let me see here. Oops, not what I meant to do. So I think we can fit one decent city here. I'm kind of thinking it should be right here. We can grab that fish as well. And then it won't be too close to our capital. Our town should be growing soon, so we'll grab Sicilian Wars. And then I'll place you right here to start kind of weakening down the ship, because once these independent powers kind of have their encampments burned down, they tend to let their naval units run wild, which has been a huge issue in the past for me, at least with how the AI kind of goes about harassing my cities. Okay. So I think we go for fishing. Okay. And you can't attack the ship, so I'll move you back there, buddy. You can though, so I'll move them forward. We'll try to kind of grab everyone back here. The only reason I moved them out because I didn't know if there were additional units. So with that in mind, let's continue scouting. Machiavelli kind of has his own island, which is interesting. I'm not too sure where Catherine is, but she should be around here somewhere. Grab the marble. And we have our unique Punic port completed. It looks quite pretty, and it also has a ton of bonuses here. Just off the bat, 3 food, 6 production, 4 gold, 2 culture. So it did take a lot of investment. We are playing an epic speed, but it does look pretty kick-ass, I have to say. So let me take a quick look back at our bonuses real quick. We need to get merchants out soon. 2 production, plus 1 production or decency for coast, so we're getting 3 off of that. And then we're getting how much food here? I think 5. No, I'm sorry. 2 food from the dockyard because of the adjacency, and then 2 gold. And then the Punic port is really where everything comes together because it further increases our settlement capacity, or I'm sorry, our resource capacity. So we're already up to a whopping 9 resources if I'm counting correctly. So our city is already really, really beefy, which enables us to go for some of these wonders right now. Since it's kind of thematic, I know it's not optimal. I'm going to go ahead and plop Bursa down here. Or Birsa. Actually, maybe I should put it here because of how... Oh, I can't place that on rough terrain. Okay, I'll place it here. Anyway, I was going to say it's kind of a weak wonder. Not too sure what they were cooking there. But, we should be fine. Again, I'm not really playing too optimally for the one city thing. But, scrap code laws. But yeah. Should be a chill stream. And as I say that, one of our units gets sniped. Okay, and I guess the idea is to gradually work our way up towards cavalry here. As for the general, I think we'll probably place him in Thanay for now, just because I'm kind of... She's helpful, but I'm just cautious and kind of weary about Ada, I believe, just because the AI can be really, really finicky and neurotic at times. Okay, let's get the wheel for that Numidian cavalry. And I still don't know where Catherine is. I'm actually going to reject that real quick, because I want to burn the city down. But yeah, it's kind of funny they released this patch with the DLC. Because they're already putting out paid content, and I know it was advertised before the game, which is even worse, but they're already putting out paid content when the AI and map generation have not been kind of hammered out. Like, the forward settling is going to be with the second half of this patch on March 25th. So that kind of gives you more context on where things are headed. But, I mean, I'm not really shocked at people being mad, because I think it's completely justified here. God, those are expensive. Repair that. I mean, and then look, like, you can see the graphics. The graphics are still kind of lagging behind here. But yeah. I do like the city halls though. Okay, I'll take out the sheep here and then put in this for the culture because I can't really slot it into my settlements. But it looks like he's also doing the one city challenge, so we should see how that goes. We get open borders. There we go. So I'm thinking maybe Catherine is over here because I don't know where else she would be. And her capital is not revealed to me. So I'm really not sure if she's on an island or what. Um, but it's really surprising that he still is not settled, to my knowledge, another city. His happy icon is really funny though. Okay, I'll go towards the wine and the gold. And this should really help with buying out Kothons. Now they're much, much cheaper. All right, here we go. Okay, so I like the look of the wonder itself, but I mean, it is quite underwhelming. It's a very pretty wonder, but I think it would be a lot better if we got free traders from it and it increased the trade capacity. Otherwise, I'm not sure what they were thinking with this wonder. Maybe they were trying to make it more historically accurate, but it just does not do it for me. Um, Very underwhelming wonder. Ooh, let's take the +1 specialist cap. And we could probably prioritize the salt pit in the brickyard. Just for that production. And then I think it's fine to start moving on to the wonders. Okay, that looks like a juicy potential port. Okay, we'll set up here, and then once we get another commander in Numidian cavalry, I think we can probably start going to war. Just because I want to show them off, and not because I'm a filthy warmonger. But I think the Numidian cavalry should suffice. And then we finally have our first merchant, who we should get 2 copies of, right? Maybe it's just 1. But I believe we get additional trade range on our capital, which is why we can send these traders so far. Okay, Petra wouldn't be a bad investment here. At least I don't think. Because we have quite a few desert tiles. I mean, we might as well. Right? I'm just trying to think where would be a justified spot. Maybe here? Okay, I'm going to save up and then plop down some quarters later. But I think it's probably worth it just to wait for the Kothons in the shipyards or the dockyards. And then Petra will help with that. I know our gameplay isn't too terribly exciting right now, but it should ramp up once we get to war with Carthage. I'll turn you into a fishing town. We don't have too many mines or quarries as of the moment. But I think we have a pretty solid start right here. Let's grab this production. Get a woodcutter. Man, I swear we're getting the Great Barrier Reef in like every single start we have here. But this has kind of confirmed my suspicions. I think she's starting, Catherine that is, on a continent to the southwest, which is interesting. So, looks like she's finally starting to settle some cities over here on the east coast. But this is not acceptable right here, so we'll be burning that down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the patch notes right now, and then I think I'll probably start to try to go over. Let me open the Reddit. Them as we kind of play through here. Okay, so Sicilian Wars, plus 20% gold from mining towns, and plus 20% food from fishing or farming towns, and then plus 2 settlement limits. So this is where things kind of start to kick up, because 1, we can now settle an additional city right here, like we were planning, and then another one right here once we start to go to war with her. So I think we're going to start to focus towards, let's get economic though, pumping out Numidian cavalry, and then get to work. Okay, and then speaking of which, Sicilian Wars 2, that Codex buff is interesting too. But Sicilian Wars 2 makes our Numidian cavalry units much faster. So, +1 gold. And we'll finally buy out the Kothon here. The reason I put down the fishing quay right here was because I need it as an urban tile to build the Kothon in the dockyard over here. So I'll get that +7 production, which is going to be +7 gold. Plop it down immediately, and then I get cheaper buyouts because of the civics I've researched. I think it's 25% cheaper. So soon, 54 gold is not a lot, but once these Kothons really start stacking up, I'm going to be able to buy out basically anything. If I put my mind to it. So we're going to get some more gold from Petra and production, and that'll further kind of help us stack our Wonder Game. Okay, it looks like they cleaned the ribbons up too. They used to be a bit expansive. I think they condensed them a bit and centered them. But you can see my gold production right here. Ada's is pretty decent, but we're slowly going to be ramping things up. Okay, and I need to get on top of my colonists too. Okay, here's our first trade route. And you can see here, we unlocked a Civic because I'm using Xerxes' trade route bonus. So when we start to really pump out these traders, we'll get some very, very powerful culture yields that further compound as the ages progress because of my unique bonuses here. I mean, like, a lot of people were saying Augustus would be a great pick for Carthage, and I think it would be really ironic, but yes, he would be because he can buy out Kothons much, much cheaper than Xerxes can. But this culture really starts to stack when you consider how many Kothons in dockyards you can kind of pile up over time, assuming you're settling at the max capacity, or even going over it. But speaking of max capacity, my resources for my capital are completely stacked. Okay, I'll take the additional gold because I still want to increase my gold economy. Because the Kothon can only do so much here. But speaking of which, I think we'll buy another merchant and then send it to Aksum. I'm going to hold off my war with Ada, I think, for another 20 to 30 turns. Just because I kind of want to get my culture off the ground. Because I'm still, if you look at the AI right here, I'm still kind of lagging behind. Because I've been focusing on building Kothons and Wonders in my capital. And you can see we actually got 2 copies here. So we'll send a merchant, I'm sorry, to Saba, and then one to Aksum. But it's going to be war pretty soon. There we go. This is such an inappropriate quote for Petra too. This is like one of the first examples of human settlement. Seems a bit contradictory there. But maybe I am a bit off the mark. But yeah, I think their bonuses just stack well with Xerxes more so than Augustus. The only real downer is that you get a really big debuff with Desert Starts as Xerxes. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Mm. Let's get Code of Laws too. And you can see my production is actually crazy. Like balls of the walls crazy. Okay, it's probably time to start doubling down on our science. So let's grab a library. We can put it here, why not? And take this production. Production's always good because it's going to be relevant for wonder building and general district building. I think it's much more relevant for Carthage than maybe other civs, at least in the capital. But that's just my opinion. And then again, we'll further stack our gold over here. Okay, so I think my big brain play here is going to be putting down a fishing quay, or buying out a fishing quay, I should say, and then putting a Koth on here for the maximum bonuses. And then that should really compound things. Okay, it's Husugu. What is this? Husgunie? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Again, not a great city, but we'll make do. Speaking of which, we'll give them the dates, and then we will take the jade for the gold bonus. 2.5 extra gold. And it looks like Machiavelli and Catherine made peace. So I think with that out of the way, we'll try to grab the Great Stele. I can make no guarantees, but that'll really reward us for having more wonder production. Or I'm sorry, more wonders out. And empower our production, I should say. And then I'll put it down here to maximize my adjacency bonuses. And I'll also grab this, and then I'll start stacking on specialists just for the production. But it is kind of tempting to grab the elephants. She's going to be pissed off about that, I can guarantee you. And then we got another economic victory bonus. But you can see we are at turn 119 on epic difficulty. Or I'm sorry, epic game speed, and we already have 6 cities out, which is kind of slow for me, but I've only had to build 3 settlers or colonists. So keep that in mind. And I can also go ahead and buy out this dockyard. So, what the? Okay, maybe that's just because there's a trader here, but that will go ahead and give me 2 more resource slots, so I can finally put this fish in, and then move the sheep from the capital and put gypsum in. So that's really, really solid for my, I guess, overall expansion plan here. Okay. And then again, we're getting another burst of culture and gold. Ooh. I think I will take the +1 migrant though, just to make sure I get this stele built out in time. And then probably, I said I'd get my first specialist, but I think my next pop will be on the elephants for that wonder production. And then I'll go ahead and get my specialist. Okay, again, we'll take the plus 15% wonder production. And let's get the +2 gold on all settlements. I'll take the culture off the palace and focus on the additional gold from mining towns. I really want to start capitalizing on my Kothons towards the end of the game by being able to buy out as many as I can, or I should say, by the end of the Antiquity Age. There we go. Because I can't turn them into cities, of course, so that's kind of my strategy here. Just dump as much gold from my capitals as I can into my cities, or my settlements. There we go. Oops. Okay, we'll grab the wine because we're going to get plus 10% culture in our capital since we are in a celebration. And then, if I can scroll correctly, I think we'll go and get... Do we need an altar here? Not really. I think a garden. I'm going to turn this into a mining town. And then, since I already have my gold up, I'm going to finish this and build a Punic port. Grab a granary. And continue getting pops. There's my 4 production elephant. And then as you can see again, we got 2 more resource spots. So it's slow at first, but we're really, really starting to reap the rewards of playing with Carthage here. Okay, I'll end this turn, and then I'll be back in a minute. I said I'd pull up the patch notes, so let me grab them real quick. And then I will return. Okay, here we are. Okay, sorry about that. So at least from what I can see here, the patch notes seem to be a lot more revolved around changing the culture victory. And I guess, to my understanding, and I guess, I mean, from my own experience as well, the AI, like, they spammed, one, missionaries too much, but two, they really like to spam explorers, which are the modern age kind of culture unit. So hopefully that's turned down a bit. We'll see kind of eventually. I'm not going to play it on this save, but hopefully later we get to the modern age and see how much the spamming has been toned down. But they also changed how holy cities work, so you can convert them. The AI will still be able to build missionaries of their religion, but it should be a lot harder for them to do so. So we'll kind of see how that changes things, but people might be a bit disappointed by this patch since it is on the smaller side. I think the bigger patch, which gets people more hype, will be on March 25th, which sees changes to the map. And what else? What was the other big change? AI, yeah, AI settling. But we'll see. So let's grab a bath. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem we have any of the new wonders on this this continent. Oh, and then another thing that they changed was that fewer exploration age artifacts spawn per continent. So it should slow things down. But yeah, people were completing culture victories way too quickly, like as soon as they finished the World's Fair, which the devs definitely did not intend. Uh-oh. But I mean, we'll see. Sometimes the devs are way too light-handed in terms of nerfing certain mechanics the AI will kind of work with, but the forward settling definitely needs to be patched out as soon as possible. So hopefully March 25th is enough, but I mean, I'll be waiting with bated breath because I'm not too confident that it will be completely eradicated. I mean, it wasn't even this bad in Civ 6 at launch, from what I can remember. From what I can remember, excuse me. But we'll see. Okay, so let's start investing our gold. We really grew from 60 quite quickly. And I think the city is due for a Kothon. And next turn we should be able to finish with the dockyard. Grab the gypsum. Unfortunately, I don't know if we have enough slots in our capital for that quite yet. But at least we'll be getting some production for the city. But that is kind of one of the big drawbacks for Carthage, is that you can't slot certain resources and settlements, so you are really restricted to, we don't need gold, focusing on your capital. Okay, let's start immediately going for the Numidian cavalry. Can we build it? What are the prerequisites for that? I swore we could. And also, there's 2 entries for them, which is really funny. Okay, maybe this is the promotion, which I guess makes sense. Still kind of funny that it's not just included under here. But I'm not too sure. Can I only purchase them? It looks like I can only purchase them, which is kind of awkward. Okay, oh well. I'm going to go ahead and buy the dockyard. And we'll get our, what is this? Third Punic port? Or fourth? And then I'll start working on these two cities. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and build, what is it, 2 slingers? Or archers, I should say by now. And then after that is done, how do I have low happiness? Okay. I guess we'll pop down an altar first. But I was going to say, after that is done, we'll get cracking on that Numidian cavalry. Okay, finally I'm going to put down my first specialist, which I've been like procrastinating on doing. I think the best spot right now is going to be on top of our library tile here. We'll try to snag Ha'amonga Amaui on our capital if we can. I can make no guarantees though. But awkwardly, we're not going to be building too many naval units. I just think the current map doesn't really favor that right now. I could put down a settler right here, though. And there's our Numidian cavalry. Okay, I think we're good. I was gonna say, I was kind of hoping we'd have, enough production to build an army commander. I don't know if we can wait that long though, because how far are we along? Oops. 58%. I mean, I guess we can't afford to wait for a commander. But I mean, you can see in terms of in terms of legacy points, I mean, the AI also has to be going for some kind of one city challenge because I mean, I've played on Immortal and Deity, and the AI. I mean, some will have like great yield output, but I mean, they tend to twiddle their thumbs and mess around oftentimes, which is really unfortunate. But I mean, the forward settling is like something that's so embarrassing to not have patched out like right after release. But here we are. Kind of seems like a Viraxis special at this point. Okay, 8 turns. I think we can wait for that. And then get to work. In the meantime, I'm going to... I guess we can surprise war her. I kind of feel bad about it, but I just am not liking... I have to wait 15 turns. I'll just surprise war her. I'm not liking her settles here, to be frank. Okay, I've kind of been neglecting the city right here. I guess we plop down a fishing quay and do what we did in a few of the other cities and build a Kothon here. And then in a few turns, we can put out a dockyard. But as you can see, my city started immediately growing as soon as I plop that down. So even though it's a shitty tundra city, it should still be solid. Just because of how strong our coastal bonuses are. So, I mean, I'm kind of hoping, and this is one of the things with Carthage that I was suspicious about when I first read through their abilities. If you start at the far end of a continent, like right here, you're kind of screwed unless the city settles more closely to you. Like, my whole scheme was having a bunch of traders up and ready to trade with the rest of the world, but because they spawned at the exact corners of the map, I'm only able to reach a few of them with my capitals, and I need these to be converted into cities to extend my trade range further. Because otherwise, the only thing that's kind of pushing my trade range here is my civic abilities. So it's kind of a bit of a predicament here. Okay, the AI finished the pyramids. No doubt it is probably on like a one-tile river, but be my guest. I'm not going to judge. Okay, I'm going to change your specialty to being a fishing town. I don't really have faith in the industries here. God, I can't believe I have like 10 resource capacity already. Oh lord. They will be crazy for factories though when they do roll around because of how many resources you can pop into your capital. I will say that. And I do really like the look of their unique unit. I just wonder competitively how strong they'll be kind of going forward with like multiplayer and whatnot because they rely on trading so much. Like if players really want to screw you over, they'll just have extended wars with you so you can't trade with them and really kind of tank your economy. Like I feel like it's a very easy civ to counter if you know what you're doing. Granted, the AI doesn't know what they're doing, which is why I'm kind of steamrolling here, but it is food for thought. Okay, our commander's finally here. And not a moment too soon. So something they're also looking at is improving unit unpacking. I think it's with the next patch and not this patch. So we'll kind of see how far things go with that, but at least like right now, the unpack action, or what is it, deploy army, is kind of random. You saw me back a few turns ago where I had to kind of like manually select the units and deploy them. And I think that's like what we're at right now. The AI for deploying armies just kind of randomly places ranged units towards the front sometimes, and that's like the exact opposite of what you want happening with your early wars, because they can get like two-tapped typically by early independent powers. So hopefully we see some changes to that in the future, but right now it's kind of on the weaker side. God, I am building everything instantly. My capital has a stupid amount of production. Look at that, 54. 54. That is a number. That is a number. Actually, I'll build that here. The reason being, I want to save this spot for an academy in case I need it, since I've already built my altar here. But yeah, let me know if you guys also bought the DLC too. I've heard some people wait out on buying it, and that was kind of my consensus with the update as a whole. I mean, the release as a whole, really, is that it's probably better to wait a year at least, get it on sale, buy the DLCs at a discount, than to deal with like what is essentially beta testing early on. Okay, Catherine, I'll ally myself here. Since I'm declaring war, I'll just accept this. And I don't think Machiavelli will be too pissed that I am warring Ada here. Yeah, she's neutral and hostile with the other guys, so I kind of feel dirty here, but at the same time, not really. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles here. And then, of course, I will be upgrading my slingers. Of course. But yeah, my gold output is disgusting here. Jesus. Okay, lighthouse, solid. Let's actually pull you back. Okay, this is it. I think we are going to declare war this turn. So, this may tank our economy initially, but, oh, God, that is nasty. Oh, well. We'll see about that. The initial war support penalty may have been changed a bit. This shouldn't be too bad, right, guys? We should be fine. We should be fine. Oops. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. And look at my movement. Jesus, that is disgusting. Oh, this poor woman stood no chance. She stood absolutely zero chance. Okay, my archer, on the other hand, needs to pull back. Unless we can shoot you here and kill. Which we can. I mean, because of our movement speed bonuses, we are quite nimble. Let's give our cavalry some space. We can start attacking here. And as you can see, we're turning the city into Swiss cheese. And it doesn't really matter that what was I going to say? I mean, it doesn't really matter that we're kind of being careless with unit placements because our cities are quite well defended. So we're quite solid here. Something I should be doing now that I've kind of neglected is exploring south so I can get more cities immediately out. Okay, that animation takes way too long. Holy. Kind of sucks that you can only buy the cavalry though. Okay, we'll get the impacting bonus here. She's actually holding out fairly well. I'm kind of impressed. We'll start pillaging. And try to recoup some of that HP. We got to get to this town, though, quickly. They're sending in quite a few units here. You'll continue healing. So I think we send like one Numidian cavalry up here, just because the city's probably going to get taken. We are in dire straits right now. That should be a bit slower to react, honestly. Let's skip this turn. And we'll just have to defend till the end, honestly. Kind of what sucks about having my capital so far away here. Okay, well, that's handy. We're about to capture that settlement. And we have to basically put this city into full unit production right now. So let's grab another archer and get those units out immediately. Actually, we're kind of archer heavy. Let's grab a spearman. Okay, and they are pouring through already. All right. I'm gonna have to retreat temporarily and recoup my losses. Okay, what is your happiness here? I cannot take the city here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get some water, and then I'll be back and try to she's putting Sanjay stupid or Nalanda here. Do some quick unit spam, and then we'll probably try to get some naval units out and corner this city. So we'll see how that goes, and then They moved their chariots in at the last moment. That was the only unfortunate thing that kind of stopped us from taking the city. And then once we capture the city, we should be good to end the stream. Or I mean, we capture Malith. But we'll see where things go from there. And then I should have a video out tomorrow. I'll see. We'll see how things kind of go. But that should be it for now. And then I'll try to get back in an hour or so. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All right. Peace.